Hi, greetings from the Lama Yeshe Wisdom Archive. I'm Nick Ribush. So Venerable Roger asked me to speak a little of Kopan's early history, the beginnings of FPMT publishing and the International Mahayana Institute, and how the FPMT itself got started. This will necessarily be brief, but the definitive history of all this has just been published. Big Love, the life and teachings of Lama Yeshe. In May of 1972, Marie Obst and I left Australia to travel the world for 4 years. I was a doctor, she was a nurse, and we'd met at the Princess Alexandra Hospital in Brisbane. We started off in Bali, where we stayed for a couple of months, lunching on coconuts. Our plan had been to then meet friends in Canada, but talking to travellers who'd come down the hippie trail through the Middle East and Asia, it seemed much more interesting to stay in the East and rather than go back to the West. So we changed our plans completely and headed north through Java and Sumatra. In Thailand, we saw many temples, Buddhist statues, and monks. So I thought, as a dutiful tourist, I should learn more about the culture of this country we were travelling in. Neither of us was interested in religion, but we acquired a book on Buddhism, and that was just for purely cultural reasons. However, as I read this book, I experienced a strange sensation, feeling deep in my heart that, this stuff sounds true. I don't recall exactly what I was reacting to now, but, it felt true in a profound way, not in the way that an anatomy textbook could be said to be true. In this book, the author stressed the importance of meditation in Buddhism. I didn't know what that was really, but I made a mental note to find out later at some point. In Thailand, I'd arranged to meet a Danish friend in Kathmandu a couple of months later. So in mid-October, we found ourselves in Nepal. As we got off the bus in Kathmandu, we ran into another friend from the trail, a Brazilian guy called Jose. I asked him if he'd seen Lars, the Danish friend, and he said he hadn't, which meant we'd have to wait. Jose took us to his hotel off of New Road and showed us around town, where to eat, where to get pie and curd, where to listen to music, where to buy dope. And then he casually tossed off, and if you're interested in Buddhist meditation, there's a course starting next week at this little monastery near Bodha. Of course, that was Kopan. Since I'd made a mental note to find out more about Buddhist meditation, we went up to Kopan. We took the bus to Mahangkal, and then we walked across the rice paddies to the Kopan hill. Nobody was around at Kopan, but we saw a notice on the bulletin board that said that the 1 month meditation course was starting on the 28th. It would cost 300 rupees. It was about $1 a day. For a month's food, accommodation, and tuition. So since that was much cheaper than waiting for Lars in Kathmandu, we signed up. The third course was the first one to be held in the newly built Gompa. And there were just over 50 of us in attendance, travellers from all over the world. Some of these students had been at one or both of the previous courses. Rinpoche was teaching the course. Mummy Max was supporting the whole place, the lamas and about 25 young Sherpa monks. Anila Ann was Rinpoche's assistant, and Peter Kedge was managing the whole thing. It was a very intense experience, especially for those of us who were not used to maintaining any kind of discipline on the road and were totally unfamiliar with Buddhist teachings, Tibetan culture, or meditation. We were up into the cold at 5:30 in the morning for an hour and a half meditation. Then there was suji and sweet tea in chipped enamel mugs for breakfast. Then Rinpoche would give a 2 or 3 hour discourse on very unfamiliar subjects. Rice, dal and sabji for lunch. Then discussion groups and another discourse for a couple of hours in the afternoon. Then a light dinner. Then another hour and a half meditation. And then we went to bed on straw mattresses that were sometimes full of fleas. The next day it was the same, and every other day, relentlessly until the end of the course, except for the last 2 weeks, we also took precepts, which meant no breakfast and no dinner. It was total immersion. About a week into the course, Anila Ann asked me, a doctor, to come and see Lama. I didn't know who that was. We newbies had only seen Rinpoche and thought he was the boss. We were wrong. Although Rinpoche had moved into his upstairs room in the new Gompa, Lama was still staying in his room in the old house, out of sight, down the back of the property. He'd injured his leg on a glass top coffee table, and the wound had gotten infected. So there's a bit of a story about how all this went down, but I don't have time to tell it now. Suffice it to say that I had to give Lama a course of intramuscular penicillin, and that was how I met him. Lama didn't teach during the course, but at the end he gave us refuge, precepts, and Dharma names. Mine was Tupten Zopa. Marie's was Yeshikadro, which is what she's been called ever since, usually abbreviated to YK. I was a bit too shy to use my new name, but since the Lamas were calling me Dr. Nick, that's who I became. Then we all climbed to the top of the hill for the obligatory group photo after the course. As we dispersed, I went over to Rinpoche and said, "Rinpoche, thank you for changing my life." He giggled and grabbed my hand to walk back down the hill together, but feeling a bit embarrassed, I foolishly pulled away and walked down just behind him. Most of the students then went their own way, but YK and I stayed, and a couple of others stayed on, wanting to help the Lamas. Between Christmas and New Year, though, I did a 1 week Lamrim retreat in the old Sangha house. Using the course textbook, this one, Rinpoche's Wish-Fulfilling Golden Sun of the Mahayana Practice. I was so blown away and fired up by the teachings that during the retreat I wrote letters to all my friends and relatives demanding that they come here to Kopan for the next course and meet the Lamas. In fact, many of them did. After the retreat, I had an interview with Rinpoche in which I told him that The Golden Sun was a life-changing book, but I thought that it needed a bit of editorial attention. He agreed, saying it had been put together by students from the previous course and that he had his own ideas about how the whole thing should be. And if I liked, we could work together to revise it. Well, I totally liked. So for 6 weeks, YK and I spent hours each day with Rinpoche going through the book from beginning to end, rewriting it. I would take notes, she would type them up, and then we would edit those to create the manuscript for the next edition, which we printed in Kathmandu, for the next course, the 4th. During this time, we also sorted out Zina's library. As many people know, Zina Rashevsky was the Lama's first Western student and helped them found Kopan. At this time, she was in retreat at Tupten Churling Monastery in Solakumbu, and her library was in what was called Anne's house, where Anila Ann had stayed at one point. We also set up a medical clinic in this house, as Dr. Ade Gyatso explained a couple of weeks ago. Not long before the course started, Lama Lundup arrived from Sera to teach the young monks. The fourth course started on March the 13th, 1973, and about 120 people showed up. Some 25 of them were Australians who'd either received my letters from a retreat or had read them, including my mother. The course schedule was pretty much the same as that of the previous one and finished with Lama giving refuge, lay precepts and bodhisattva vows, followed by a group meditation on the back lawn and a group photo on the hill. This was the last course to be held in the Gompa, as future courses attracted too many people to fit, and thus began the era of the tents. There were about 200 people at the fifth course in the fall of 1973. 250 people showed up for the sixth course in the spring of 1974, about 70 of those left. And there were 200 at the seventh course in the fall of 1974. Between these courses, I usually did more work on the Golden Sun with Rinpoche, and an updated edition was produced for each one. From then on, the courses were held annually, not twice a year, as the Lamas had begun travelling the world. And for many years, these courses followed the same format as the early ones. In the summer of 1973, 6 of us spent the summer at Laudo, where Rinpoche's previous life had lived and where in 1969 Rinpoche had established the Mount Everest Centre, a monastic school for young local monks. I went up with the Lamas and stayed on after they left a couple of weeks later. That summer, Lama Pasang arrived in Laudo to help Lama with Kopan and Lama Lundup with the boys. So at that time, the Kopan monks went up to Laudo in the summer and spent the winters down in Kathmandu at Kopan. That stopped in 1974. In the meantime, I was editing at Laudo. I was editing Rinpoche's teachings from the third and fourth courses, and while doing this work, I had a couple of realizations. One was that by just taking notes, we missed a great deal of what Rinpoche had taught, and we had to find a way of getting down everything he said. The other realization was that I had to become a monk. So while we were there that summer at Laudo, we received word that Zena had passed away in retreat. We all came down in time for the fifth course, which was the first to be held in a tent. Determined not to miss any of Rinpoche's teachings, I sat myself down right in front of the throne and tried to write down every word. As he spoke relatively slowly and repeated certain phrases, I was able to pretty much succeed, even though my scrawl was really hard to decipher. But miraculously, YK could read it easily and typed it all up. I then edited that manuscript, and with the work I'd done in Laudo, we had 2 extensive Lamrim commentaries by Rinpoche ready to print. But instead of having to take it down to Kathmandu to a print shop, Lama let us buy a Gestetner duplicating machine, and we set up our own printing press at Kopan. As testament to Lama's vision, for many years after that, that machine churned out countless English and Tibetan texts. And that was the beginning of FPMT publishing. By the end of the course, Lama had given 10 Westerners permission to get ordained. And on December the 15th, 1973, Lama gave his first talk to his assembled Western Sangha and established the International Mahayana Institute, the IMI. Then pretty much all of Kopan, the Lamas, the Ingis and the Mount Everest Centre monks took off for Bodh Gaya and His Holiness the Dalai Lama's Kalachakra. For most of us, our first contact with His Holiness and our first highest Yoga Tantra initiation. At the end of the initiation, the 10 of us getting ordained lined up for His Holiness to snip our crown hair as a preliminary to our ordination. Looking at us slightly bemused, he said, "I hope it lasts." Then the IMI Westerners, 4 monks and 6 nuns, plus Rinpoche's mother and a couple of young Tibetan nuns, received novice ordination from Kyabji Ling Rinpoche. Then we all headed back to Kopan, where Lama gave teachings on the Tantric vows and started preparing for the 6th course. As I mentioned, 250 people showed up for that, far too many for Kopan to handle. So agitated by the difficult conditions and Rinpoche's teachings on the 8 worldly dharmas and the hell realms, about 70 people left. Around halfway through the course, the great Kyabje Song Rinpoche arrived at Kopan. He gave teachings to the Kopan monks and the course students. He ordained a group of monks and nuns and led several pujas. Well, I think this narrative is getting a little long, so I'll just briefly mention a few of the salient points from the next year and a half that I was asked to cover. After the 6th course, Venerable Roger, who had done the course, installed electricity at Kopan. This meant we no longer had to rely on Indian batteries when recording the Lamas on the newly introduced Panasonic cassette tape recorders. Lama Yeshe gave the Heruka Vajrasattva initiation and teachings on it. We printed the sadhana and commentary, and many of us did retreat. 10 of us went up to do individual retreat at Laudo, and there was a group retreat in the Kopan Gompa led by Anila Ann. I think 20 or 30 people did that. While I was at Laudo in retreat in the Charok cave, the Lamas made their first trip to the West, visiting the USA, Australia, and New Zealand. This is all detailed in Big Love, but one of the main results of that trip was the establishment of Chenrezig Institute in Australia, the first FPMT International Centre. Before YK and I left Australia, we'd bought a 160-acre property in Eudlo, Queensland, with our friends Tom and Kathy Victor, who had attended the 4th course, and Tom the 5th. And they invited the Lamas to come to Australia to give the first Kopan-style 1-month Lamrim meditation course in the West. After the course, they showed Lama the Eudlo land, and after Kyabje Trijang Rinpoche agreed it was a suitable location, we were honoured to offer the land to Lama. A puja was done to bless the land, and Chenrezig was thus established. After Australia, the Lamas went to New Zealand, and there the Dorji Chung Institute was created. On the 6th of November 1974, the 7th course started, with me serving as Rinpoche's assistant. In February 1975, the Lamas started their most extensive world tour, teaching in Thailand, Australia, New Zealand, the United States, England, Switzerland, and Italy, over a nearly 9-month period. I was fortunate enough to be their attendant on this epic voyage, during which more centres were established, such as Manjushri Institute in England and Istituto Lama Tsongkhapa in Italy. After the 8th course in the fall of 1975, Jesse Sartain, an American student from Dharamsala who had a small publishing company in Hawaii called Conch Press, approached Lama and asked if he could publish the teachings that Lama and Rinpoche had given in America during their 1974 tour. So since I was running Kopan Publishing, Lama called me over to make a deal with Jesse, suggesting we co-publish the book with Conch Press. Lama named our publishing company Publications for Wisdom Culture, and the book was entitled Wisdom Energy, and thus Wisdom Publications was born. Around that time also, I was standing on the steps of Kopan Gompa with Lama, talking about the world tour that had just concluded. And he looked into the distance and said, "We need an organization to keep all this together." So what he meant by all this was the new centers that had already started and the many more that were to come. So Lama asked 9 of us who were at Kopan at the time to meet together daily to formulate how such an organization might function. At the time, he named it the Council for the Preservation of the Mahayana Tradition, and thus the FPMT was born. Again, there is so much more in Big Love, and I encourage everybody to get this book. Thank you very much.
My most dear most precious, most kind, wishful students and friends, father, mother, brothers, sisters, and beings. So before the room, the Sutra of Great Liberation unbelievable. I began the day first. So with that, I couldn't have the teaching. I liberty and into the room. So at that time. So since I started that on the history. So that's the room at the, something right away. If you die or, if you dead, if right away, what? Oh, right away, we are so much benefit. Even, I mean, just, even, yeah. Even by hearing the title, unbelievable. So that's, I'll repeat again. Like that. So let's see. How much we have. So it's something right away solution. Right away you're going to, because not all the virus. Right away, whatever happens, die right away. That's what you need. Exactly to purify. Never get rid of all, only to enlargement. not achieving liberation, not that, but it's, totally saved from the Lord. So that's yeah. So yeah, let's see, immediate. So that's so your life in the up towards enlightenment. So that's because I nowhere to finish and so that much pages. Yeah. So it's incredible. So we are we start to translate. As you say.
Well, I thought we had. It's not clear.
Not done yet.
No, we don't. We haven't. We're still looking for a translator.
Huh?
We are still looking for a translator.
We're still looking for translation. We're still looking for it. We're looking for translation for eons. Well, sorry. I showed this book. Yeah, that's the benefit. But here is that this is the actual text. That's sorry, not this. It's just condense some benefits. Then again, that general subject is lojong. Was the virus, the people so scared and so scared, unbelievable scared, and the fear and all the worries, all that. Met, so much problem. The mind met so much problem to individual beings. So like that, you see. Then of course, if you realize the emptiness, or the especially bodhicitta, wow, that's the happiest life, and then you see whatever you experience in your life, wow, any happiness or suffering or any difficulties you experience for a sentient being, or most joy, most happy. So yeah, most happy life. Only way the cool way to achieve enlightenment. To benefit. That so, of course, common people in the world, not with having a Dharma, haven't met Dharma, if we haven't met Mahayana teaching, haven't met, haven't heard teaching the bodhicitta, never heard bodhicitta. So, how to develop compassion, love, and kindness to a number of sentences. Never. There's no. So that. Yeah. Okay. So. So last time I gave the quotation, sorry. I think looking kanshi tomne jewe gyazo tajinji. Means the inner purpose image birth by achieve that. So jewe gyazo tajinji, so we completely, you reach the end, the oceans of birth. So some are suffering. Chanchu Chogas, Gwe Saran, Dejura, in the planting the seed of the virtue of supreme enlightenment. So that the opportunity. It's in the way, then Chilabi. So, which has greater quality than, wish grand jewel, I described the other day. So this perfect Rinpoche, I explained the other day, is he has a great quality. The which grand jewel, even you have skies, filled with sky, then you can, that alone can't make you to not be reborn Lord and purify the karma, and the cause is higher, but it alone cannot. Then cannot help to be free from oceans of samsara suffering, cannot. And also to be free from lower nirvana, you see, blissful, binding into blissful state of peace. So you can for that, so where you kind of you get caught in that, and then do not achieve enlightenment. The sentient beings, you don't get help. Sentient beings, for so you bound if you fell into lower nirvana. So the blissful state of peace. So so cannot help. That alone free you from that. I cannot make achieve great nirvana enlightenment. So for sentient beings. So, but if you have perfect memory, but this one, you can do that. You can do that. Stop the period they come out to your own Lord, and then because then it's easier, free from the Lord, and then you receive a higher birth, and they also free from the samsara if you have that through Dharma practice. They are trainers, you can free yourself from samsara, and then by practicing bodhicitta, great compassion, then you free out with the similar body. You see, free from Lord Nirvana, and it makes to achieve enlightenment for sentient beings, and free numberless sentient beings from the ocean of samsara suffering, and brings them to enlightenment. Unbelievable. So what this perfect miracle, what you can do is unbelievable. As I gave the example, Milarepa doesn't have 1 rupee. But he perfectly followed Guru Mapa's advice, besides building 3-story, 9-story tower 3 times. And then he's exactly following the Guru's advice. And then, so all that became permanent practice. Then we see went to the different caves on the mountains. It's a Mapa advice to the meditation. Then with the hardships he practiced, then you see that his food is only nettle. There's no other things. So he said, went in the story that thief came on they want to cook the nettle. Then he said, "What there's salt or chili?" Then he said he put this is salt and nettle, and this is chili. Then he put nettle, nothing else. So that hardships he practiced Dharma. You see, each realized that. Then in a brief lifetime, but doesn't becoming hard. So that's the similar by his examples, the inspiration, great hardships. In brief lifetime, doesn't time. So there's then there are many others who achieved enlightenment, very large at the same time. So you see, this human body has a greater quality than which can't do. So which can't do not one, fill the whole sky. So many sushi do. Then other than human birth, what that no result. No result. So human, you see, do not get the result. Who does who? So yeah, if you practice that, if you practice Dharma, see, practice Dharma, see, so you get the result. So. Then you see, born in the country where there's Dharma, in the world, in the country where it's born, where the Dharma, but you didn't get to practice, pure Dharma. Then you, because you came in the jewel land where you can get as much as which kind of jewel you get, but you didn't recognize, went back empty hand. So that's an incredible loss. So then now this Dharma, you're born in the world with Dharma, not southern continent, then well, I'll tell you just an extended story there. If you are born pure, Amitabha Buddha's pure land, the Bodhisattvas and who are born there, they pray to be born in our continent, southern continent. Because there's no Tantra practice there, Tantra is not taught there. So Bodhisattvas, they pray to be born here in our continent, southern continent, because there's Tantra teaching existing. So they practice here, then they achieve enlightenment. So that's one reason. That is also one other reason how we are incredibly so fortunate, born here, southern continent, and in the world where there's Dharma, or there's an entire, you see, Buddha Dharma, Buddha teachings, or less about the great regal teachings, Sutra, Mahayana Sutra, Tantra. Teaching Buddha, and the Tibetan Buddhism, not just some part of that, complete. In the world, the complete Dharma. That's why, there's a different place in India, where Buddha taught different teachings. So, yes, Ribush mentioned our guru. So one thing that incredible opportunity, to achieve enlightenment in our life, opportunity. So I was mentioning that. So I went through the correctly following Virtuous friend, then Edwin Pitts, then Ed Shortcomes, say, I don't remember. Maybe I didn't said all the 8 shortcomings. I'm not sure. The other day. So just to give idea. Yeah. So you see, by obtaining even the first one, to become by following virtuous friend, you become close to enlightenment. So, for example, you as you follow the advice of fulfill the wish, as you do that, then you become close to enlightenment. You see, any day, every time, any minute, any second. As when you do that, you become close to enlightenment. So, any advice given you receive from Guru, then as you do that, close to enlightenment. And then, yes, even the material offering, even just glass of water, or even nuts, it's awesome, can do awesome. The offering, you become close to enlightenment. Oh, that's mentioned there. Not the nuts, but I'm just making it clear. Just it's easy to understand. So Jeju Ponga mentioned that. Like that. So see how the basic, the whole idea is how your life, this perfect human life, so precious to realize, recognize. Those are much. So there's different subjects. Okay, other than the lung giving lung. So in the life, so realize you are precious in life. How so precious, you know. When you could diamond, inside the box, another box, diamond, or something precious. That's nothing. Even the sky of diamond is nothing. Then you are human bird. That's all it is. Yeah. So I read here from Central Nectar, okay? Chedra Lama Yeshe Wisdom. In this life, correctly following the virtuous friend. Correctly pleasing the Guru. Chedra Lama Yeshe Wisdom so similar to the cause, the result similar to the cause in all the lifetimes. You meet Supreme Virtuous Friend. And you didn't do it, give you 신년 저도 제주진. Then is in all the lifetime, result similar to the cause, in all the lifetime, you'll meet Supreme Virtuous Friend. Or you'll receive unmistaken teaching, complete. In short, while you are following the virtuous friend, you become free from the edge. You become free from that. You find the good body of the Deva Himime, and ultimate, you finish all the suffering of samsara. Then you will achieve definite goodness, the enlightenment. That's benefit. Yes. So you see, I mean, how many seconds, how many minutes, how many hours, days you correct follow. So it is all this is result. So you have to know that. Then that's from the session nectar. Tamekawa Yatsuru Tomba J. Lujang Shindu Nyeka Sungju Che. Lami Tura Tene Yiduji. Chetung Jila de la Dua Sung. Then the session nectar said, Tamekawa Yatsuru Tombaji said, numberless yawns. Yatsuru Tombaji said, for eons, Tamekawa Yatsuru, for oceans of numberless yawns, you attempt, even you practice, but can't, even you practice, so difficult to find the enlightenment, to achieve enlightenment. But depending on the Guru, you achieve unified state Vajradhara enlightenment in this very lifetime, in this short lifetime. Dharma is immediate. Without taking much time. In one short life, you achieve immediate it is said. So that means Tamekaba, that's also numberless events. So I guess what is mentioned, oceans of numberless events. So I think the ocean is a drop, a number of drops. So like how many drops the ocean has, so that many yawns. It's a numberless yawns. So you attempt, you walk, we practice, you walk very hard. So much, pretty much effort, Yeah. We practice Dharma, but so difficult to find enlightenment, difficult to achieve. But even Guru, in one short life, you achieve. So we have this opportunity. So this incredible opportunity we have. Recognize. That recognize. Okay? Then Shingen Tamba Suchin Tenches, then you decided to do Pula Pemba to a medicine. Jamal tweet in the J. And maybe I mentioned that. When you correctly follow the holy virtuous friend, all the virtuous, all the Buddhas are pleased. Numberless Buddhas pleased. This one will be quickly liberated from samsara. And just like Mother Sea, you are just like Mother Sea, Mother so happy that you are helping her son, her child, you see. So if somebody is helping her child, the mother is so happy. All the Buddhas so happy. Thinking this will quickly liberate from samsara. Oh, so it's like the example, somebody helping the mother child, the mother is so happy. Then I read from Ka Chakra, Tangtra, Root Tangtra. Kaba to some Tamje too. In all the 3 times of eons, past, present, future eons, you may offering to Buddha Dhamma Sangha. So external offering. Even you save the lives of the creatures, tens of millions of creatures, but you don't achieve enlightenment in this life. If you please the Guru with the mind, with the devotional mind, the Guru who has oceans of qualities, then you definitely achieve common sublime realization in this lifetime. Definitely achieve in this lifetime. It's enlightenment you can achieve in this lifetime. So the devotional mind, please the Guru with the devotional mind, so important, so important. Papa, so important. So, Kadam Keshi, Janga said, Chibatao, Chibatao, Shindu Luning. Chibatao, Shindu Luning. Jambe Yang Joba take you, Kadama Keshiang said. Even you are so full like pig. I don't know whether you agree with the dog, but chipak, I think chi means a dog, pug means pig. I mean, I saw in Apet, there's one man who trained the pig, public, you see. I don't know where is this China or the pig, I think sort of football, I think something, the pig was trained. So, Chibata Shindu Lune, you are extremely full, non-intelligent, like dog, pig. Zembe yang that you were saying, no difficulty to become like Mandishri, Buddha wisdom. That grants wisdom to all senses, to each to understand. No difficulty with Mandishri. So, you see, you have no intelligence at all. But unbelievable devotion. Unbelievable devotion. The Guru, no intelligence, but devotion. Oh, so like pig, no, but devotion. Downless. Oh, no difficulty to become Mandishri with the wisdom. And Jambe Yang you will take you, become like that, no difficulty. Kadama Yeshe Wisdom Archive. That. It's not only intelligent one become enlightened. No foolish. It is so not like that. No foolish. Foolish one don't become. Only intelligent. Only moderate intelligence. No, it does not like that. You have to understand this. It's been so don't devotion good. Or even though so foolish like pig, but not difficult to become monastery. So of course you have to think that if it's you receive Dharma connection, you receive teaching, even to the words of mantra, Mahum or what to the words mantra, lung even few words, few stanzas of few words, lung, from the Guru, and then is Dhamma connection. So then, for you, that is sorry. Yeah, but here the danger is I'm advertising myself to the students. Not that at all. Saying I'm Buddha. No, not at all. You see, here as it is mentioned, the teaching Lamdrim Sutta Tantra by Buddha. So you see, as you receive Dharma connection, even through the words Lung or what they are, so it's your guru. It becomes your guru. Yeah. So that means you see, for you, there's yes, it's the meditation is out there. You are understanding what you're supposed to realize that Buddha for you. That you see. So therefore, of course, it is Buddha. Ocean's quality is there. You see? Therefore, ocean's quality is there. So even though those who don't come to see ocean qualities, or you see limited, or maybe you see yourself has more qualities than the Guru. Yeah, sometimes. Maybe that's also possible. Sometimes you may think that yourself more. But anyway, you see, when you so therefore, so see, for you it's Buddha. So definitely it has ocean qualities. You see, so that's what Galatia Tantra is. And then Gacha Lama la Tebi, if you rise towards the mind, sublime common relative religion this life. So then you see, in the Chachantil, Mahamudra drops Mahamudra, Chachantil. Chidra many Shingsigba, Gejikan Tawaje, as light fire would burn by fire. It becomes ashes in a second. Suppose there's big piles of hay grass. See, then mattress, small mattress flame, some of that. Then, so quickly, immediately, ashes, all of them. So, that's the example. The meaning is so you please the Guru, I don't remember the Tibetan word. The meaning, yes, the meaning is there. We're just trying to remember the word. Like that, the glorified Guru, you please, then, see, this is. So in a second, your nirkamas get burned. So not only one nirkama, so many heavy nirkamas done past lives. This life, past lives, become ashes. You know, get burned. Get burned. Get burned. Sorry. Purified. Burned is because of example that was given in the beginning. In 1 second, burned. So like that. So yeah. So I'm describing that how great, incredible opportunity you have in your life. I'm emphasizing that how precious your life is, whatever it is now. That's my emphasis. That I'm telling different way. So that's then I think I mentioned different times in the teaching. So that happened in Tibet. I think maybe 7th Dalai Lama. I think. So anyway, there was one Geshe from Debung who talked straight to his Holiness. His son was probably a friend, but I mean the disciple, of course, but talked straight for. So he asked his Holiness, his birth in the future, what it will be. So his Holiness said, you will be born a cow which has the horns, buffalo, sorry, ox with the blue horns, you will born immediately. You see, he said, then the Geshe laughed. How that's possible? Immediately. First of all, he has to dive, he has to dive. And then born intermediate stage. Then you see, to be born after ox, you need father, mother, you see, copulate, yeah. Yeah. Then copulate. Yeah, you see, copulate, and then they want to have sex. So then you see the family, this you see called, and then then you get attached to the, that you get born there, conceived there, and then 9 months in the womb you have to be develop. You see, then come out. Then only blue horn gradually comes. So he said, how it's possible? Not possible immediately. Yeah. Then he starts laughed. Because what he thought he mentioned straight to, he starts laughed. And then he said, oh, now you will be born as a monk. Serving his Holiness. You will be born a monk serving to his Holiness. So then how that? I didn't get to do any practice purification that Nigrikama to be born as a ox having blue horn. I didn't do anything to purification. In the present practice. I didn't get anything. How is that possible to change now? No. So then his son laughed. So and his son answered, that's because his son didn't say, I'm a genetic, but his son said, I'm a blessed. This is blessing of genetic. And that, of course, means the whole thing is he pleased his owners, telling all this, they made his owners made so happy, that. So just now, all that heavy thing now purified, just right around that time. Then he got married to born with manga to servant to his own at that. So right there he created karma, right there, right immediately, right there. Oh, that's his own disciple. Oh, please, what's on because please right now. So that purify all the heaven and karma. So you can see, and that you see. So so that is you see. Oh, why that heaven and karma? Right away then, this purified. Don't. Oh, there. So that means we have freedom, like him, the example. We have freedom like that. You see? So just a minute you can purify all the karma. You see? So the baptism guru, like that. So every people picked up this. So most important in the practice, picked up that. So people who are no dharma, all this, they know this, how this is the most important thing in your whole life. So that. Otherwise, Guru is this something the Tibetan Lamas, they made it up, not from Buddha, not from Pandit, no, just Tibetan Lamas in Tibet. That's the matter of this thing, to report them to receive offerings. This is like that. Many people think like that. They don't read what is said in the text, Sutta Tantra, but from Buddha, they don't read, they don't learn. And they say, oh, this is the Tibetan Lamas method in Tibet. So like that, see? So, I still heard like that. There in America, there are people who talk meditation, blah, 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 good words and blah, blah, blah. But in the Lamrim outline, they have no idea. Really the path to enlightenment is the Guru, no idea. So they about Guru, maybe it's very Lamas. They made it up. And they has like you call what? Theosophical. Theory. They tapped it about life story. You made it up. You write down the people. Many people traveling there, and many people in the house. They read this. They spend so much time reading this. Somebody made it up. Not true story. Even the story not true. They spend I don't know so much of life they're reading. What do you call that?
Novel?
Huh? Yeah. Yeah, not true, but they made it up. Oh. Huh? Fiction. Yeah. Damn. Cause all they did that's in can you go? Oh, then then I want to bring up this again. It's so important. So then you see at keeping the vows, ordination lay vows or whatever. Keeping the vows so hard, so difficult. And like Guru advised retreat, but it is so difficult, so boring, so difficult things, whatever is, I don't know. So, no matter how hard your job, the job, the practice, if you make good advice, no matter how difficult, all that, or difficult, or so many people criticize you, or working with a center, or something, organization. The different things. So when so hard, so difficult. So you see, during that time, you have to know that so many 100,000 protestations is like that. Those when you find very hard, you see, you're bored or so difficult, so hard, and so like this example I gave. So during that time, you have to realize, to achieve enlightenment for certain things, you have to purify. You have to purify obscurations, collect merit. So during that time, like many billions, many 100,000, so many mandala offerings, and so many processes, many 100,000 was like that. It include, you have to recognize. You have to recognize. So in that, so how much obscuration you have in negative karma collected from beginning of the past life. So how much days? So yes. So you purify. So all this is for you greatest purification, and collecting most excellent merit. You have to recognize. You have to remember all the time. You remember this all the time. Benefits what you get. So, yeah. Sound to this. I told in the past, but I want to bring this again. You have to recognize. You remember all the time. Otherwise, mind becomes, your mind gets lost from practice. So like that, then creates all kinds of heavy karma, all kinds of heresy, non-devotion, heresy, so much negative karma. With Guru, that's the heaviest karma you call it. With whom? So if you just if you obey the advice, fulfill the holy wishes. Even you offer one candy or something, bring close to enlightenment. But then the other side, yes, for power. But the other side is, if you don't keep the mind in the continuously in devotional mind. Like Lama Tsongkhapa mentioned, 982 Guru Ribush order, he couldn't keep them devotion. Otherwise, then he said, well, their mind will suffer. And like popcorn, then like, then every day, every minute, every hour, I want to heavy in the karma all the time. If you don't practice, you don't read Lama, you don't know. Without that. So even So that you can change. You don't learn to practice, then no matter how many mental tools are wrong, it's so small. That cannot. Then it comes so heavy. So it's like, it's like mentioned in the Klacha or the other teachings, the Tangda texts, Root Tang texts. Never had you, but you retreat and how much you do for years, or an astral place, fasting, but it's because your mind didn't change. This gurus and the mistake was they change same. Then it all becomes like it all does become retreat, all those things become cause of creating cause of hell. All those have been cause of other creating cause of hell, something like that. So then because that is after death and born in hell. So no matter how much strict, the absolute pleasure, the nursing people, the fasting, how much you just do, that doesn't purify, doesn't stop attributable to the Lord. So but the karma is so heavy the karma. Okay. Then after that, just do one thing, then do the long. So the second thing is kasa. I think they mentioned yes, day first. I think, but anyway, yes, I'm sure many people heard about benefits of Buddhism, but just mention again. So even Nagarjuna said. 창조 창조 점제니 손나 풍부 강도바 갈대수지 있는 난가 강화래잖아 난가 강화래니 합 so so just by merely generating bodhicitta total enlightenment, how much merit is collected if it's materialized. It's a modern sky. So, modern sky. So the other day I mentioned that somebody, you see, put together, hands together, and achieving enlightenment in order to benefit all the sentient beings. This. This is a far more greater than and it is no end. No end. Benefits no end. Buddhas number of Buddhas cannot finish. It's very, and so you see, even you offer because of the world, universe actually equally number of the sand grains of river Ganga. You see, filled with jewels, and they offer the Buddhas. So that you see, that become very small. This somebody put palms, but is Buddha, you see. May it be not one for sake of all sentiments. That one, all that benefits much, very far more greater. The previous one, and then benefits no end. All that. So therefore, just with that, if you go around, stupa or statue, or go around temple, or go around, then each step you collect merits more than sky. Each step. Same thing when you teach Dharma. With each word, with the bodhicitta, then each word you collect merit more than sky. With the bodhicitta, moreover, you eat food, you see. With the bodhicitta, moreover, each drink, each spoon of food collect merit more than sky. Then you can relate to any action. Yeah. Even you are going to play a magic, or you're going shopping, or we're done with bodhicitta, each walk, you collect merit more than sky. So anything, you're talking or conversation, with bodhicitta, psychology, or with the bodhicitta, then you see, each word you have you call it the benefit. If it's done with bodhicitta, so like that. So anything, you see, depending on what you relate with that. To realize this humanity, but how precious it is. What are you going to do with it? I'm taking the point. Yeah. So okay. That's enough. Okay. So okay, then maybe now I want to say something about refuge. Okay, probably many people may not have heard this. Taking refuge. So another way, how you are present in Himalaya. Unbelievable merit on that. You see, when you take refuge, it is said in the teaching this I think I'm not remember the text, the Sutra text. So maybe the poverty, I'm not sure. capson sonam suchina tonsum diyan nodu chung jazu chimbo chuitel huigi jawa kalani. So what it's saying is, if you are taking refuge with the Dharma Sangha, if it manifests, materialize, or the benefits materialize, you see, even the 3 galaxies are small. Small only now. So, this you see, universe, you see, 1, 2, 3, 4,000. So that then again you count 1,000, 2,000, 1,000. That's second 1,000. Now another 1,000, 1, 2, 3, 1,000. No, that is a great 1,000 or 3,000 galaxies. So if the taking refuge materialize, you see, form materialize, or 8,000 or 3,000 universe, the container, small container, doesn't fit even that much. Don't they are not things. The ocean, the Atlantic Ocean, is the treasure of the water. So put with the two hands like this, count benefits of the refuge and the counting number of the when you take the water from the ocean like this, nowhere. That's very small. The finish much earlier, much so small, and comparing the benefits of taking refuge in the it is materialized. So now, okay, that's short. Now here I explain, okay? That maybe it takes time, so I do it in English. So the Buddha told to Sharifu, told Sharifu, I'm just keep making short. Sharifu, you benefited so many people, causing happiness to so many people, general compassion to the world, to the all beings. Then the meaning of the during the walk amongst the group of capable beings, benefited to the devils, human beings. Then it is good that you for them happiness you request it. It's a shareable goes to Buddha. Buddha said, yes, yes. Then Buddha said, you came in the front of Tathagatas. That's the Buddha, you see. Then thinking to request this, so Sheriff, to understand this, number 7, that now this I'm going to explain you example. Any being, any capable being, you can see, having such a psychic power, then the zumbling, you see, zumbling, this word zumbling. Then the continents, I think the smaller continent. Then the width and the length, 7 bucks, 7,000 bucks. But there's a different country in the culture, but Dombanga 500 times of Domba is this full length. Arm length. 500 of this, and the jangta, 1 jangta. 8 jangta is 1 bhakti. So, yeah, it's a Konda Abhidhammakosha. Eight jangta. Jangta, 8 jangta, or 80 jangta, I'm not sure. So, bhakti. So now here, 7,000 Pakche, which has. So in the Zambaling, how many creatures there are? So including human beings. So you move to another world, make this world like palm, flat. And then 7 types of jewels: gold, silver, bendria. What is silver, bendria? Barium. Barium. Huh? Beryl, yeah. Glass, red pearl, essence of the stone, the thing with diamond. And a book, I don't know, this book, there's another jewel, I think, Namle. So you build a stupa, in the Zamboling, you see, the south of India, you build stupa, that which touches where Brahma's Thangpa, Brahma's world, the desired God, the world is God, which touches to that so high stupa you built, which touches to the Brahma's world. You know what Hindus believe they God, you see. Then make offering to that stupa. Then there was incense, there was a flower, there was garland flower, and there was umbrella, there was a banner, padin, the flag. You make offering to that stupa. So, being who has such a psychic power, so much. Then the oceans in the Lord Zambaling oceans, the oceans, four oceans, the water. You move to another universe. Then you fill up the 4 oceans, in place of 4 oceans, you fill up with butter. Maruka, I don't know, some particular material. Maruka, not Maruka, till. Mustard seed, yeah. Butter made of that. So you fill up these 4 oceans, instead of that, the butter, Marika, Tilmas. Then mountain meters of the wax you put. End of the eon, you offer light continuously. Then Buddha asked, what do you think about this? Buddha asked, the capable beings who made this, do they collect much merit or not? Then he answered to Buddha, yes. Devasapa, gone to the place, yes. Then so much more merit than the hero listener and self to realize them. Beyond from that. Then the Bhagavan, Krishna Buddha, this is the object of the gone to bliss. The benefit. And gone to bliss, this the object of Tathagata. Then Buddha said, then now listen. Buddha said, Sharipu, race of the daughter or son. Anyone who take refuge to the Buddha, Dhamma, Sangha, the merits, heaps of merits, it's 100 times bigger than the previous one. 100 times bigger than the previous one. It doesn't come close to that. The benefits before the benefit doesn't come close to taking refuge. It's so much greater. So taking refuge merits 1,000 times bigger than the previous one. Numbers and cause and nothing near to the benefits of the refuge. So that's benefits of when you do that. Nama Guru so when you do the practice, you do like that. Pop, wow. So this humility. Now you see, an unbelievable pressure. Wow. So so no time for depression. No, with all this, what I said, correct form, but friend, even, one day, hour, minute, that form which is, being the difficulty, and then the bodhicitta, I'm just giving example, So, no time for depression, no time, no space in the mind for depression. Goodbye. Depression. So you have to know that. So bad it depends on your mind. So I said the Bodhisattvas, they're those who practice so well, so happy to experience bad for sentient being, so happy. Like finding jewel. So nothing. I mean, you have to die, but nothing. All this merits, you see? So get out of that room a little bit. Cool. Yore, look. The contest one. Maybe tomorrow. Maybe next life. Okay. With the room, then, there's still more thing. Only realize how this human birth so precious. No time for depression. So if you think small things, then depression. If you caught in small things, big, you may big, depression. No, so no sense. So if you think Dharma, just like that. Okay. We start, okay. Thank you. Did all the past, present, future marriage to collateral, third eye marriage to collateral, number is sentiment, number is Buddhas. May the bodhicitta be generated in oneself and that one's family members, all the sentient beings. All the sentient beings. They were generally made to increase. Oh, Janjo is Rimbo, Chema Abana, Dejo, Deva, Nyamba, Meba. Hegane kondo hejo. I'm this veneration. Gondaraja Dunza Mebada Junde Dende Lua Mebada Penza Game Toso Java Goja Gonde Dobara Jinjero. Semje neba chini ba nyodo nele ta ju je de namal ta do jwa me ba sho semje neba chini ba nyodo nele ta ju je de namal ta do jwa me ba sho semje neba chini ba Nyodan ele taju de nana malu batado jwa me barisho. Then those who did, particularly with barbarians and all that. Oh, dead by the conditions and all that. Yeah. Then to did all the 3 time marriage called by me. 3 time marriage called by number is the number is Buddha, and made the those born Lord realm made liberated from that immediately. And may they be born in the pure land where they can be enlightened. Or may they receive perfect immediate birth, made by the teaching, made perfectly qualified man. The Guru revealed that mistake by the enlightenment. Saragundu Jawa Tonga Ve Tejo Shinye Ngozo Zebe Jawe Ngabe Lansa Tinye Tanke Je Zai Dama Joyjin. May I be enjoyed, used by the sentient being all the time. And then just like earth, water, fire, wind, used by the living, medicine, and wood in the forest, and as a industrial place. So very kind of think that, mention that. I didn't. What's the word after that? Simjenala Soshima? Huh? 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 So yeah. So in the in the commentary it says you become the virtue friend, then send them and cherish you. That's what it said that. Then the next one, you hold the most precious. That sentence means.
Toso changshe jangwan gyalwe ten jengyong belwe konso dokpo chosom dorwe lekmon dodok daso dorje gondo shabte shok yawade nyurdo lama sanye dogyoni doa chika malwepa deki sala kwe parashu chanjo senjo Rinpoche mage panan ke gyorche kewa nyembo nyemaya goni gonjo perwarashu mig me sewe te me kembe wambo jambe ya pate kembe toge tonga palo sandape shala solvade me sewe te me kembe wango jambe gaze kembe toge tonga palo sandape shala solvade me sewe te me kembe wango jambe gaze kembe toge tonga palo sanda shabla sul